What's up, gamers? It's your boy MtG here, and I'm bringing you another Magic the Gathering deck tech and gameplay video, and this one is centered around Ilharg the Raze-Boar. So let's go do it. Before I actually talk about the deck, I want to say that I am currently going to be on vacation, so if you're a subscriber of mine and you're like, why are the videos so slow? That's why. I will be trying to kind of trickle some out that I'm recording beforehand, so this is one of those. So if you're wondering why it's so slow, that's why. Anyway, now, here we go. Ilharg the Raze-Boar. I assume you're familiar with this card, but let's talk about it anyway. This is a 5-mana, 6/6 legendary boar god with trample, and whenever Ilharg the Raze-Boar attacks, you may put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Return that creature to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. Whew. And whenever Ilharg the Raze-Boar dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, you may put it into its owner's library, third from the top. This card is awesome. This is one of my favorite cards from War of the Spark. It's just really cool. There's a lot of fun stuff we can do with this. So that's what we're going to be doing here. And the reason, so I tried to do this a little bit in a mono red, like a big red video recently, but that didn't work super well. I was trying to do like just creatures in big red instead of planeswalkers, and it's tough to do. So now what we're doing is Gruul, where we have actual mana ramps. We can hit this earlier than we normally would be able to. So we can actually get this nice tasty combo off. Okay, so what we really want to do is we want to be attacking with Ilharg the Raze-Boar, and generally we want to have a Rhythm of the Wild on the field, so we're attacking with haste with Ilharg, because we can, give him, if he has Riot, we can either give him haste or a +1/+1 counter. Usually we're going to give him haste so we can just go ahead and attack immediately so we get that trigger. And then we're going to put one of our other big creatures onto the field with him. So that's either going to be Etali, Primal Storm, because she's great. She or he, I think that's a she actually, a she dinosaur. Elder Dinosaur. Whenever Etali the Primal Storm attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. Then you may cast any number of non-land cards exiled this way without paying the mana cost. This is a really wonderful attack trigger. It's basically, it can be game-winning depending on what you're getting off the top, of course. But I mean, just the fact that we can use this, we can put it in, attack with it, and then it goes back to our hand by at the end of our turn, and then we can do the same thing next turn as long as we still have Ilharg on the board, is awesome. If we never get Ilharg on the board, playing this with haste is still really, really good. So this is, of course, something we want, but usually we're going to be using Ilharg to get this onto the field and just kind of win the game. Other big things that help us, obviously, Carnage Tyrant is really great. We run one of those just because against like control and things is going to be nice. And it has trample. Not everything is going to have trample. Like this is a 6/6, but it doesn't have trample. So Carnage Tyrant can be nice. Ravager Wurm. Ravager Wurm is great because whenever it enters the battlefield, it does one of two things. It either fights target creature you don't control, or you destroy target land with an activated ability that isn't a mana ability. And whenever we're using Ilharg to bring this onto the battlefield, this enter the battlefield effect triggers, and then we put it back in our hand, and then if we attack again with Ilharg the next turn, we're going to do it again. So we can just keep on getting these abilities, and so that's why I want these nice enter the battlefield or on attack abilities going on here. So we got 2 Ravager Wurms and 2 End-Raze Forerunners. This is a big papa. So normally we're not going to be able to cast this straight from our hand just because of the mana constraints. Occasionally if we're flooding pretty hard or we have a bunch of ramp and we play this, and we end up being able to play this with our mana, I guess we will do that. But normally we're going to be playing this with Ilharg, and then when End-Raze Forerunners enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain Vigilance and Trample until end of turn. And this, of course, has Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Now, so the Vigilance part of this gun we lose that effect because our creatures will already have attacked by the time this hits the battlefield, but it does give them Trample and +2/+2, which is very, very good. We could also probably run a Rhonas. In fact, you know what? As I'm talking about this, I'm going to edit this real quick. I'm actually going to drop out 1 Ravager Wurm for a Rhonas. Nope, that is not how you spell it. Rhonas. God-Eternal Rhonas. Just because this also doubles the power of each creature you control. I was playing practice games, and I was thinking Rhonas would actually be really nice in this deck. Why don't I have that? So now we have it. Okay. So we also do God-Eternal Rhonas with Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, double the power of each other creature you control until end of turn. Those creatures gain Vigilance until end of turn. Really nice if we're getting this onto the battlefield every turn with Ilharg. Usually we're going to win on the turn that we get this to attack, or the next turn, or something like that. Or this guy gets, killed and we just don't win. But But those are the big creatures we're going to try to be getting onto the field with Ilharg. And to get there, we have a lot of pieces that have to kind of fall into place. We have 2 Vivien Reids, which is great. This is good against control decks, actually, because it kind of keeps putting cards into our hand, and we can destroy pesky artifacts, enchantments, or flying creatures. We have Domri, which can ramp us and pull creatures from our library into our hand, which is both of those are really, really good. And not only is this like a little bit of ramp to get us from 4 to 5, this also gives that creature Riot. So if we never get Rhythm of the Wild on, but we do get Domri, this can give us Ilharg with haste, which is really, really good. We also run 3 Rekindling Phoenix because this is just a really dominant card. This is one of the things that allows us to make it through the mid game into the late game, because control decks are going to have to deal with this. They're going to have to remove it in some way, usually by exiling it. And this also protects us against Drake decks and Phoenix decks. Those can be pesky with flyers that we don't usually have defense for early on, but Rekindling Phoenix helps us get there. Other things we've got 4 Rhythm of the Wild, as I said. You could probably cut this to 3, but I kind of like to have 4 just to make sure we have it so we can give Ilharg haste, because that's kind of the point of this deck. This might not be the ideal structure, but I kind of like this because it lets us do what we want. We also have 4 Gruul Spellbreaker, which is just a super, super strong card. This is either going to be a 4/4 with Trample and Hexproof on our turn, or we can just play 3/3 with Haste and Trample. It's just so good. This card is really, really good in any kind of Gruul deck, so keep your eyes out for those. We got 2 Draconic Disciple because I couldn't really decide what else to put in the 3 slot here, and I like Draconic Disciple. It can be a mana sink if we're out of cards late in the game, but we do have one of these. We can create a Dragon token with flying, or this is just ramping us, which usually this is just going to ramp us into bigger creatures, and that's totally fine. We also have other kinds of ramp. We have 3 Llanowar Elves, obviously. We have 2 Incubation Druids. You could probably bump this to 4, but I am short on rare wild cards, sorry guys, but that's okay because we also have 1 Vivien's Arkbow and 4 Kraul Harpooner. Vivien's Arkbow is really nice, again, because if we're flooding out or something, we can use this to go ahead and just discard lands and then put something onto the battlefield from our library, which is great. We only run 1 of these though because you don't really want to get stuck with multiples because that just doesn't do you any good at all. Kraul Harpooner again helps us kill those flyers that are going to be annoying, and this is also kind of an aggressive tactic. If we have Kraul Harpooners at the beginning of the game and we're like, they're not going to really have flyers, are they? We just play these and can then attack because it's a 3/2 for 2, which is already good, despite that it has reach and can attack flying creatures. So this is great. My lands are a bit janky, but I do have 2 Rootbound Crags, 2 Stomping Grounds, and 2 Guildgates. Probably you just want to get 2 Rootbound Crags and 4 Rootbound Crags and 4 Stomping Grounds, and then fill the rest in with basic lands. But we are running 24 lands. I don't really think you can cut that down. You could maybe cut it to 23 just because we have a lot of ramp, but there's so much removal, like early removal and control right now, that I've noticed that I almost always lose my Llanowar Elves or my Incubation Druid on like turn 2 or 3, and so it's hard to have consistent ramp that way, so we do want to have 24 lands. That's my opinion. Let me know if you disagree with me in the comments below. Let's get into some play now. So we are going to be playing in Ranked. This is Gold Tier 2, I believe. We're on our way to Platinum, but I probably say this in like every video, I have the hardest time climbing the ranks. Not that I really care a whole lot, but I have a hard time climbing the ranks when I'm playing these super janky decks all the time that I'm like trying to test new things out. And I always I like to play them in Ranked because you actually face off against better stuff. But I always lose a lot at the beginning of those decks. I like end up losing a bunch of games and then kind of figuring it out and then winning games in the end. Okay, so we have 3 lands here, which I like, but we also don't have any ramp early. We can maybe trust a turn 2 draw to get us either our 4th land or like an Incubation Druid, which would be nice. I probably keep this actually just because I know how much ramp we have in this, that I'm confident we're going to draw into something. But we go ahead and I think play Rootbound Crag here. I'm not worried about having that come in untapped. So Golgari Guildgate. Okay, so we have a mountain as a draw, which isn't terrible. I would have preferred definitely an Incubation Druid to get us to Rekindling Phoenix on turn 3. Ooh, this looks like, okay, can you just not draw just lands? This looks like Golgari mid-range or maybe even Sultai here, which is very annoying. I don't like that. I dislike Sultai, but the good news about this is that this life gain right here doesn't bother us too much. With Wild Growth Walker, they can gain all the life they want right now. We're going to just rush them down at the very end of the game. The bad news is, fairly confident they're going to be running Vraska's Contempt and or Kraul Harpooner. So our Rekindling Phoenix is a bit vulnerable, but I feel like I kind of have to go ahead and play it here. There's no point in playing Rhythm of the Wild and then Rekindling Phoenix if these are just going to be murdering me. Okay, so that's a 4/6 and Seeker Squire. Okay, so this is getting bigger. The good news is they're tapped out, so we know that they can't either Vraska's Contempt or kill. Okay, do we take the 5 damage or do we kill the Jade Light Ranger? I'm kind of thinking we may want to. I mean, difference between 3 and 5 damage isn't that great. I'm gonna go ahead and just kill the Jade Light Ranger here and take the 2 extra damage from the Wild Growth Walker. Yep, we'll put that back onto the battlefield. Oh, End-Raze Forerunners. Okay, I think we go ahead and put Vivien down here because we've got to get some gas. I mean, drawing an Ilharg here would be great. Ah, yes it is. Okay, we got Ilharg now. We don't attack because we need blockers to stay alive. But once we get Ilharg on the field, that's going to be pretty nice. So we're going to be able to play either Etali Primal Storm on the following attack phase, or End-Raze Forerunners, depending on what we really need. Seeker Squire. So they are just hitting all of their Explore package right here, which is kind of lame, because this Wild Growth Walker is getting very large, and we don't have removal for that, so that's problematic. I mean, we got, yeah, I think I gotta block the Wild Growth Walker in order to not die. I mean, if I took all that, I would be on 1, but I could kill the Merfolk Branch Walker. I think this is the play. I think that's the play. I mean, I get this back as a blocker. We just need to make sure we can survive until the following turn. Okay, so that's a land. That's nice. Let's go ahead and plus her again. I think we take Incubation Druid and then go ahead and play Ilharg the Raze-Boar. Unfortunately, we don't have our Rhythm of the Wild down. But we do have our big chief here. Are you kidding me? Okay, we lose. That's game. Yeah. So we really actually needed that blocker. Yeah, why not? Well, if they decide to not kill us this turn, which no, I mean we're dead. If they're smart, they just attack all and then we lose. And this is so big. Why? How did you... Okay, let's look at what they actually hit. So they're playing a Citadel deck, which is interesting, which explains why they just have a ridiculous amount of control packages. But let's see what they actually hit. So they hit Jade Light Ranger, 2 Branch Walkers, and 2 Seeker Squires on top of 1 Merfolk Branch Walker, which is kind of the nuts, honestly. I feel like I never have that much luck with my Explore package. So we lose. If they hadn't had an Assassin's Trophy in hand, we could have survived until next turn. Probably would have died soon after that, though. So that's one game down the hatch. Let's see if we can maybe piece a win together here in game 2. We also had a very slow start. We did not have Llanowar Elves or Incubation Druid or Draconic Disciple show up until the very end. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping. The very end of that last game. So hopefully we can actually get something nice here. Okay, so we have Stomping Ground, Mountain, Draconic Disciple. With Vivien Reid coming soon after that. I like this hand because we do have ramp eventually. We just don't have it on turn 1 or 2, which is a big bummer. Okay, Kraul Harpooner, we don't care about right now. I'm going to go ahead and play this tapped. I think we may be going up against, is it Drakes here or is it Phoenixes? Not sure. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Slice Man. So if is it Drakes? Okay, well it's actually, they're showing Grixis right now, which still could be Drakes, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So let's go ahead and play the Disciple here, because Disciple allows us to play Vivien Reid next turn, which is really what we want. I'm a little worried this is going to be Grixis Control, which I guess isn't the end of the world if it's Grixis Control. Okay, so we got Saheeli here. Here's the thing. I don't really care about her minus ability, but I need her to die. I need her dead. We'll just go ahead and pick up our Vivien Reid. We can play Etali or Carnage Tyrant next turn, which is actually really good against this deck. So Carnage Tyrant might be the play. I think Rekindling Phoenix is what we pick up here. Because, yeah, we need flyers, and we need this bad boy with Trample. Thought Erasure. Okay, well there goes my Carnage Tyrant, which is a big old rip. But they do have to choose between Carnage Tyrant and Rekindling Phoenix here. And honestly, depending on what we see from them this turn, like if they can't get the lands for a Bedevil here, we're probably going to go ahead and play Etali Primal Storm. So they take our Carnage Tyrant, which I dislike, but is, you know, it happens. It happens. Okay, so even if they don't have enough black mana sources for Bedevil, so we can probably risk it playing Etali Primal Storm. Shoot. I'm betting they play Kefnet in this deck. But I also probably want this Guildgate. I think I go Etali Primal Storm. They currently, okay, they don't have the black mana sources for Bedevil or Vraska's Contempt yet. They could have it in hand. They don't. That doesn't mean they can't kill it, but I doubt they can with... Dang, Ingress Rampage is such a good card. Oh, 2 mana. 2 mana for my 7 loyalty Planeswalker is insane. That is actually absurd. We're going to attack with Etali. We're going to actually... Yeah, we're just going to go for the face here. Please give me... Oh, I will take both of those. Oh, yes. Yes, please. Yeah. We'll take the Soul Diviner and Rhythm of the Wild. That was nice. Etali Primal Storm, you dog. So Soul Diviner doesn't help us a ton, but I think it's going to eventually. I think I'm gonna do... Well, I mean, I guess we play you with a counter, and we play you with a counter. Do they run... I don't think this deck runs sweepers. The only sweeper I can imagine them running is Widespread Brutality, which won't really hurt us too bad. And they're still short on their black mana sources, so I know they can't play Vraska's Contempt, and I know they can't play Bolus. We sack a creature. I'm a little worried about sacking my Rekindling Phoenix. I think I probably... I need to have ramp. I think I probably ditched the Draconic Disciple. And here's why. Because I want this Llanowar Elves to still have this token. Because this token actually can help me with Soul Diviner here. Can we not play End-Raze Forerunners yet? This costs 8. And we have 7. Oh, wait. Incubation Druid. But no. No. It doesn't help me. Okay. I'm going to tap. Remove a counter from you, actually. We draw the mountain we need. Then we go End-Raze Forerunners. Please no counterspell. And they concede. Yes! Yes! All the power! All the power. Let's go. Okay. That was fun. I feel bad again. I feel like they just weren't hitting the lands they needed. They had plenty of lands. They were hitting their land drops, but not the ones they needed. They were short on black mana sources, so that stunted them quite a bit. So I'm pretty sure that deck plays Nicol Bolas. Actually, I know that deck plays Nicol Bolas, and I'm pretty sure it plays Bedevil. Okay, what do we have here? A non-keepable hand. We cannot go first with 2 mountains in our hand, so let's mulligan that and keep this, I suppose. We do get to scry, so we can maybe put like a Llanowar Elf or an Incubation Druid on top, depending on what we see. Or Guildgate. Actually, Guildgate is not a bad choice there, because we do need that extra red mana source for both Ilharg and Rekindling Phoenix. So we'll go ahead and play a Forest, and then Gruul Guildgate will come down next turn. Okay, so showing mono blue, but we may see Izzet. I guess they have an opt here. Yeah. Also, can I just say that the art on this, I don't know if you can see it. My head may be in the way. Yeah, my head is in the way. Hang on, let me do something real quick. This art is way better than the other opt art. The Dominaria opt is significantly cooler than the Ixalan one. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, well, we're top decking just forests, which doesn't help us right now. Question is, no, I think we play Domri first. So Merfolk Trickster. The bad thing about Domri is that if they have even 1 mana up, they can Spell Pierce. Curious Obsession. So they are mono blue. They just got a slow start. Looks like they, I don't know if they've missed a land drop here or what. Yep, they're missing land drops. Okay, they still could potentially have a Spell Pierce, but they cannot have an Essence Capture. So we go ahead and play Rekindling Phoenix. Now, the bad thing about Rekindling Phoenix is this. So, if I'm blocking this Merfolk Trickster with Rekindling Phoenix, I'm thinking, oh, my Phoenix will die and I'll create my token and I'll get my Phoenix back. But if they attack with this Merfolk Trickster and I block, and before the damage resolves, they play another Merfolk Trickster, and they can get rid of my Phoenix's ability so it doesn't create a token so it can't come back. So they can basically permanently remove my Rekindling Phoenix if I'm not careful. But it may actually be in my benefit to block anyway and let my Phoenix die, because that will stop them from getting another land by drawing with Curious Obsession. It's a tough call. I don't even know if they're going to attack. They may not have that play, and they may not know they can make that play. Okay, so they're attacking. I think this is what they're going to try to do. They may also just dive down here. My guess is I see another Merfolk Trickster. You got something cheeky, Three Amigos? Nope. Did they do that out of order? Did they do that wrong? Maybe they're just going to blink of an eye this token. Okay. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world at all. We're going to play Stomping Ground. Yeah, we go ahead and play Stomping Ground, tapped, and get player Domri. And I'm going to go ahead and minus him just so we can get things into our hand. Oh, that is kind of lame. The good news here is that we can play, so we can use his +1 to play Ilharg with haste. And then we can put in Gruul Spellbreaker with a +1 and it automatically has haste because it's already going to be attacking. Or we can top deck something better. That's what I'm hoping, is that we top deck something better. Not that. So what can we do here? If we do that, nope. The bad thing is, so if they have an Essence Capture and they counter my Ilharg the Raze-Boar, I'm going to be so sad. So I think I play it safe and I go ahead and play Rhythm of the Wild. And if they counter this, not the end of the world because I can still play Gruul Spellbreaker. Yeah, Spell Pierce. Ooh, do I pay the 2? If I pay the 2, they could have another Spell Pierce. I think I decline, actually. Or do I? I think I pay it. Okay, they didn't have another Spell Pierce. That's nice. So we go in plus, and we'll just play. We'll go ahead and play the Kraul Harpooner with a +1 and a +1 as a big old blocker for their flyers, because I know that they have those. So they're on 3 mana now, and I'm on 6 with functional 7 because of Domri, assuming they don't have removal for him. Okay, this is a thing. So creature spells can't be countered. We're going to do this, add a red mana. So we're going to play Ilharg and then get our Carnage Tyrant from our hand. Please, Three Amigos, do not concede before I actually attack you. Come on. Please, I beg you. I'm begging you to let me have this one. Maybe they've just stepped away from their computer. Okay, so we go Ilharg. Can't be countered. It's got double Riot. because of this. So we got to give it haste with 1 riot. Please try to counter this. Okay, so we go haste and then a +1 counter, because why not? Merfolk Trickster can actually screw me up pretty big time here. Merfolk Trickster. Okay, well, fine. You've made it 1 turn, so I'm still going to attack with Kraul Harpooner. I wonder if they take the damage. They take the damage. So are you going to hit my Domri? Because that's kind of okay too. Okay, they're just going to hit me and try to draw some cards. Not the end of the world, as long as... I'm just hoping they don't have more... They take Domri to 1. Play Terramander. Another Terramander. Yeah, that's actually unfortunate because I wanted to use his -3.
A little pick me up before the real fun begins.
We give it haste and 2 +1 counters, and then we attack all with a +1 counter. So they are about to get hit by how much trample damage? 13, 20 trample damage and 5 from the Kraul Harpooner. So that's going to be game. Thank you, 3 amigos. That was a good win. There it is, guys. There it is. The broken combo. It's actually not that broken. It's very easy to disrupt, as you saw on that 1 turn with the Merfolk Trickster. If they just had like a couple of ways to like put like slow Ilharg down, basically like either just kill him or put him back into my hand or something, slow me down enough where I couldn't just have like that 1 turn win and allow them to ping me over and over again. Mono Blue actually has a decent chance against this deck if they don't miss all of their land drops like they were. So we've probably got time for 1 more game, and we just, what did we rank up to gold 1? Uh-oh, the competition's gonna get pretty steep. Alright, fucks to pose. My man. So I would love to keep this hand, but we just don't have... Because this does give us... If we draw a mountain before turn 2, this gives us a Rhythm of the Wild or Gruul Spellbreaker on turn 2. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this. I know it's risky, and I'm almost... Yeah, so my Llanowar Elves almost definitely gets killed next turn. This is actually terrible. Drawing another Rhythm of the Wild there was about the worst thing that could have happened. I need pretty much anything but that. No blocks, so they go, what? Runaway Steamkin. So they did not kill my Llanowar Elves there. But it doesn't matter because I can't play anything because I'm only drawing forests. Well, we might have to make time for 1 more because this game is about to go to crap fast. My guess is they shock my Llanowar Elves here. Or just do that, that's fine. I'm going to create some mana that I'm not going to use. Light up the stage. Did you really just do that? Why? That was interesting plays. So maybe we'd have a chance here, even though we are drawing horribly, and our one thing that was going well for us, our one Llanowar Elf we've seen this whole time, is now dead. So this is about to get to 4. This will be a 4/4. Summit's Sprint is a really good addition to Mono Red right now. I should cook up a different Mono Red deck. Okay, here's the thing. Okay. Bad news is, this is going to die. Like, we play this as a 4/4, but it's going to die next turn. We just have to have a blocker, and we probably just die soon anyway. I do like that it gives me hexproof on my turn, because I think they might have had like a shock there that they could have hit me with, but it's whatevs. Wizard's Lightning, and then Fanatical Firebrand. And that's a good game. Yeah, I mean, they could run out of cards. I just don't have plays to make. They have multiple turns to try to draw a little bit of damage. There's just no way I can stop them at that point in the game. So let's get another game in. That was terrible. I was hoping if I had drawn a mountain on turn 1 or 2, I would have had like a actual legitimate fighting chance in that game. But because I didn't, you saw how it went. That's fine. It's fine. Wrecked by Unicorn. Well, you're about to get wrecked by Put McGee, sir. Haha. Okay. We keep this hand, but because we're doing budget lands, because I'm a poor boy, this Gruul Guildgate actually screws us up a little bit. Because it doesn't let us play Llanowar Elves turn 1 into Gruul Spellbreaker. I think we still go... Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter, right? We might as well go ahead and play the Forest into Llanowar Elves because we can't play this turn 2 anyway. So let's go ahead and get the Gruul Guildgate now. And if we top deck into a mountain, that's great. We didn't. Okay, fine. This looks like Azorius Control. Potentially could be Esper. I think I probably go ahead and play Kraul Harpooner. The bad thing about this is they just have this wall of runes in front of me. Oh, okay, this is Bant walls, which is terrible. But the good news is, there's always good news, right? There's always a little bit of good news. We do have... We'll give you a +1/+1 counter. We do have Vivien Reid, which if they play High Alert, we can destroy that with Vivien Reid. Gleaming Barrier. Okay, well they're stuck on manas. We're going to, yeah, I want to save her loyalty counters for High Alert. If that happens, I played a land this turn, but we still need another land probably. So let's go ahead and get. Wait, we'll just take the mountain actually. So no attacks. We want blockers just in case they're able to play High Alert this turn. I don't want them attacking me. Portcullis Vines. They are going serious defenders here. So we can... This creates artifacts, or a treasure token, which we don't necessarily want, but wouldn't be the end of the world. Rekindling Phoenix is a good pickup there. We go ahead and play Ravager Wurm here with a +1 counter, and we'll kill Wall of Mist. Chunga, 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 chunga. Did they change that animation? That looked different than I'm used to seeing. Then we'll attack with Gruul Spellbreaker. So they don't have to block this. They might not block it. That's fine. We just have to hope they don't pick up a High Alert here. Another Portcullis Vine. Ilharg the Raze-Boar. You dog. Okay. She's almost at her ultimate, so if she gets to her ultimate, we pretty much won the game. We'll take Stomping Ground. Play Ilharg. And then we will attack with these two. And I'm expecting a concede pretty soon. So they need that artifact token. Makes sense. It makes sense. That might give them High Alert, but even if it does, doesn't really matter. I don't care. Yep, High Alert. So these guys can attack now, and they deal combat damage equal to their power. Even if they attack, I can block them all. Good game. Yeah, that's a good game. Sorry, opponent. Your plan didn't quite work because you missed your third land drop there. Walls is not a bad deck, especially if you have Huatli, the new Huatli. She's pretty good, actually. Watch my Toughness Matters video. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to be it. I'm out of time on this video. Let me know what you thought of this one in the comments. I actually love this. Gruul is so strong right now. Like, any kind of, red-green combination is very strong right now because you have the ramp and you have the power in red, and you've got plenty of removal to choose from. And with War of the Spark, you've got some sweet Planeswalkers, Sarkhan the Masterless, the new Chandra, the new Vivien, even the new Domri, so there's some aggro to be done there too. I will be making new stuff very soon, so if you're new to the channel, I welcome you. And if you're still with me, thank you for watching this whole video, or maybe even just skipping to the end. Doesn't matter. You guys have a nice one.